Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. So I'm doing the element readings for the last week of May. And by elements, I mean I'm dividing the video into air, water, earth, and fire. And I know that some people were saying that they prefer when I do the 12 zodiac signs separately. But that's just not something I'm capable of doing right now. I'm just being honest, because it does take a lot of energy to do those videos. And because there are 12 signs and I do 2 videos per sign, that's basically 24 videos every single month. And sometimes it's just difficult to do with my personal readings. And also I run a second YouTube channel that I've been slacking on as well. So yeah, it's just very overwhelming. But in the meantime, I will just be doing the element readings because I figured that would be better than just not doing the monthly readings at all. So we're starting out with air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. And this will be for love and spirituality. And you can check your sun, moon, rising, and Venus sign for these readings. So before we even get into the reading, what I got through meditation for you before I turned on the camera was this message about newfound freedom. A lot of you are entering or exiting a major life cycle and entering a new one. And I feel like your past life cycle, or like the cycle that you've been in thus far, has been keeping you very stuck and keeping you very restricted. And it looks like a lot of you are having some sort of breakthrough and shifting into a new cycle. And I know that readers say that all the time, like, oh, you're about to feel a shift. But no, like seriously, with this, it's like a major shift. Like not just, oh, you're going to be moving to a new job. It's like a new life, like a new mindset, a new way of viewing the world, a new way of viewing yourself. This is like a major life change, especially for those of you who have been in abusive situations, situations where you have just been treated very cruelly, and it's like to the point where people were almost trying to purposely break you. You're coming out of all of that pain, and it looks like you're breaking free from it. The song that came to me was the song Blackbird by the Beatles. I will leave the lyrics to it in the description box down below. It's a very beautiful song, and I think a lot of you are going to resonate with it. And also I will leave a link to one of my favorite covers of the song. So be sure to check that out. All right, air sign. So let's see what's going on with you. Oh, also I'll be doing an extended video too, of course, on my Vimeo channel, and the link to that will be in the description box down below as well. So let's tap into your past energy for love and spirituality. Oh boy, here we go. My nose is itching already. Every time like I do readings, my nose starts to get itchy, and I'm just like, oh my god, like it's gonna look like I'm like picking my nose on camera. And with some of my readers that I watch, I've noticed that they say the same thing. I wonder why that is. Like when you're reading tarot, your nose gets itchy. Okay, that was a long intro. Let's jump into it. Air signs, past position. Justice card. Exactly what I thought was going to come out. You know, if you have been watching my channel for a while, you're going to know why I just had that look on my face. The Seven of Swords came up again. Why does the Seven of Swords always come up? It's such an annoying card. Okay, so the Seven of Swords is about deceit. But the good thing is that it came up in the reverse. So that means that you got rid of someone who was deceitful in the past. It looks like you're leaving this energy far behind. Not just a certain person from the past, but just that energy of deception. I feel like a lot of people in your life have been very deceptive, have been kind of playing mind games with you. Like I said, I was picking up on people who have been purposely trying to hurt you in that way. Could have been dealing with some narcissistic people, or some people who were kind of jealous of you, who saw like some type of spark or light within you, and they almost tried to like stomp it out or like extinguish it. But you're breaking free from that. Whatever they tried to do to you definitely did not work, because the Justice card is here. So that talks about balance, karmic balance specifically. So anybody who has done anything wrong to you or caused you harm, they are going to experience their negative karma, and you are experiencing positive karma by having the ability to move on with your life into a positive new beginning. The Ace of Pentacles being here in reverse lets me know that there's been a lot of false starts in your life, meaning that there have been people who have basically acted like they wanted to give you something stable, or they were supposed to give you something stable, but then things fell apart because they didn't hold up their end of the bargain, or they just didn't, it's like, they didn't hold up their ends of the bargain. That's what I'm hearing. And I think you've been through this a lot, where people have just been very disappointing to you. Like, you put faith in them, they act like they want to build something great with you, and then they just don't, or they just don't do their part, or their true colors come out to the point where it's like, okay, now I can't even build with you because you're not who you say that you were. I hope that makes sense. Just a lot of false starts, a lot of times where your hopes have been up and then you've ended up very disappointed. But like I said, I feel like you're coming out of that. And anybody who has inflicted that type of energy on you, they are going to reap what they sowed. So your life is about to balance out drastically, is what I'm hearing. So if you felt like you have been on the losing end of life, you're about to be on the winning end. Clarify this Justice card for me. God. Clarify this Ace of Pentacles for me. Okay, so I'm clarifying with my Osho Zen Tarot deck that I just bought. So Justice card is being clarified by the Mind card. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Mind games. People who were purposely trying to keep you stuck or purposely playing with your mind. Like I said, this could be narcissistic energy, like people who have been trying to like gaslight you, or just trying to put you down and convince you that you're not as special as you really are. I think they actually saw in you that you were very special, and that's why they tried to convince you that you weren't. It's like they didn't want you to see it, because then if you saw it, you would break free from them and you would want nothing to do with them. So it's like they were trying to keep your eyes closed. They were trying to blindfold you to your true worth and value, because whoever these people are, they don't see worth and value in themselves. So they don't want you to see it in yourself. So they wanted to kind of, like I said, extinguish that fire out of you. It's a very disgusting energy. The Ace of Pentacles is being clarified by the Going with the Flow card. So I feel like in the past, you did have a hard time going with the flow. You had a hard time just letting things be. You had a hard time letting things go, because you kind of had in your mind what you wanted this situation to play out as. It's like you had a very clear image in your mind. And when things start to fall apart, it's almost like I'm feeling this energy of just being panicky, like trying your best to hold on to it the best way you know how, like trying anything that you can to keep this person around or keep this situation in your life. And it's kind of like I said, you had a hard time going with the flow because you did not want to accept the reality of a lot of situations. Just a very hard time facing reality, which is not a bad thing. I feel like that's something that is a coping mechanism. Like sometimes it's hard to face the harshness of reality, especially if you are an empath or you are a very sensitive person. Okay, sorry about that. I had to take a quick water break. But like I was saying, some of you have been in the position with people or a person where you just didn't want to face the reality of the situation. Like you were already invested in it emotionally. So it's like your mind didn't want to grasp that this person may have been deceiving you, or that they weren't who they presented themselves to be. Or it's like you didn't want to accept that the offer that was initially on the table, that it was a faulty or false type of offer. You see what I'm saying? Like you didn't want to accept the fact that these people could have been lying to you or deceiving you. Like you were seeing the red flags, or you were just seeing that they just were not of integrity. And this could be, like I said, family members, friends. It could be a romantic partner. So just take it as it resonates. But it's like when you start to see their true colors, you still did not want to kind of surrender and accept the fact that things were not going to work out. I feel like for a lot of you, the endings that you have experienced with people that you love has been very harsh. Like it's like the universe had to come in and snatch those people away from you, because it's like you refuse to let go and go with the flow, which is normal. I feel like that's very normal. It's a normal coping mechanism that I feel like a lot of people go through. So there's no shame in that. It's just that sometimes the universe has to step in and help us out a little bit. So the Seven of Swords is here being clarified by consciousness. I feel like a lot of you, you are moving away from this cycle because you're just too aware of these people's mind games, or it's like, you know, too much now, you know, so you can't go back even if you wanted to. Like, to me, this energy reminds me of when I first learned about narcissistic personality disorder. And it's kind of like, after that, your whole life has just changed, because now you see the people in your life who are narcissists. You realize the people from your past who were narcissists, and you can spot the red flags now. So now it's kind of like you can't even go back if you wanted to, because you're too aware. You know too much. You know too much about trauma bonding. You know too much about, you know, soulmate cycles and what they entail. It's like you know too much now just about relationships and the spiritual purpose behind them, and about the red flags, and about like letting go. Like, you just know too much now. So it's going to be difficult for you to ever be in alignment with these type of deceptive people again, because you're just too aware. You're just too aware to put up with any nonsense now. That's why knowledge is always the or knowledge and self-awareness is where everything begins. Like, you know, like if you're not aware of what's going on, you're not aware of yourself, you're not knowledgeable about what's going on in your surroundings, it's difficult to break free from it, because you don't know better. But once you are self-aware and you start to learn more about, you know, mistreatment or trauma bonding or like attachment styles, once you start to learn more about those things, it's kind of like you look at things in a whole new light, and then there's no going back after that. You're forced to kind of grow and move forward. If I'm like shivering, it's because my room is freezing cold right now, and I can't turn my heater on because it's so loud. So just bear with me, folks. Okay. Let's see the present position. Okay, Emperor card comes out. Okay, Sun card. Three of Cups. Okay. Emperor and the Sun card coming out first, both in the reverse. So a lot of you are, it's like, even though you have this knowledge, or even though you have this awareness now, it doesn't mean that you're happy, is what I'm hearing. Like I said, self-awareness is the first step towards healing, but it still hurts. So that's what I'm seeing with the Sun card here. It's like, just because you're aware now that your parents were narcissists, or that your ex was a narcissist, just because you're aware of it now and you can break free from it, it doesn't make it hurt less. Like, that's what I'm hearing. It doesn't hurt any less. So some of you are moving or working through that energy that comes with the aftermath of these realizations. So some of you could just be feeling very depleted, feeling very drained, feeling kind of down and out. I'm hearing like, it's kind of like some things you wish you didn't know, like an ignorance is bliss sort of energy. It's like, now you know so much that you just can't keep your eyes closed anymore. Like, you have to face the reality, because it's being put in your face. And like I said, just because you now have the ability to grow and heal and move on, doesn't make these realizations any less painful. So with the Emperor card being here in the reverse, I feel like this card is talking about surrender, because the Emperor in the upright, I read it as this energy of someone who is extremely take charge and in control of their lives. And I feel like with the Emperor in reverse, it could mean that you are being very passive in life, but I think that it more so talks about you surrendering. I'm thinking that you are being forced to surrender, because now, like I said, you don't have any choice but to surrender. I feel like in the past, your method of healing has always been, I'm just going to try harder. I'm going to cling on more. I'm going to try harder. And you've just been put in a position where the universe is not going to allow you to do that anymore. And for some of you, it just feels like I said, just drained, down and out, not really knowing where to go or what to do next. And with the Three of Cups card being here, I feel like this is actually advice. I feel like this is talking about new connections. And I feel like some of you are needing them. Some of you are needing new connections. Some of you are probably, with the Sun card being here in reverse, you can be in isolation, because once you come to this realization about these people, or about, you know, situations from your past, or your parents, or your ex, or, you know, once you come to those realizations, sometimes you can just isolate yourself. Because, like I said, it's like, who do I trust now? When you become aware of how evil people can actually be and how deceitful they can be, it's like your first instinct is to go into isolation. and just not want to be around people at all, not wanting to connect to people at all. And that's okay, I'm not going to say that's the opposite of what you should do, but I will say that making new healthy connections are extremely beneficial in the healing process. And a lot of people don't know that, or they don't acknowledge it, only because a lot of times what we hear is, you're supposed to love yourself to the point where you don't need anyone. And that's not always the case. You should love yourself to the point where you won't let any harmful people into your life. But a part of self-love is making meaningful connections, because meaningful connections are actually very healing. And like I said, I know that can be difficult to process because you just got out of a cycle with people who have just treated you horribly. And so it's like your mind can't even fathom the thought of having meaningful, deep connections with people. But I feel like that's going to be something very healing to you. And that's where I feel like a lot of you are headed. So a lot of you could be meeting your soul tribe very soon, or you've been meeting people from your soul tribe that you resonate with. It doesn't have to be in person. It could be like meeting them online. Also, what I'm hearing is that don't underestimate how important it is to have fun while you're healing. And that's the last thing we want to do. We want to kind of stay indoors and keep our lights off and hide under our covers. And having fun and going out and doing things that we enjoy is actually very healthy and beneficial as well. Okay, let's see the Emperor card. I'm going to clarify each of these. The Creator. Okay. All right, back to this Emperor card. Like I said, some of you are choosing to surrender, or you're being forced to surrender. But with the Creator card clarifying this, it's looking like some of you are just taking too much of a passive approach when it comes to life. Like, you can't allow life to just happen to you. You have to kind of take it by the reins and go after the life that you want for yourself. I know that right now some of you could just be feeling very helpless because, like I said, you came out of a very, very difficult cycle. So it's kind of it's kind of difficult to say to yourself, okay, I'm in charge of my life now. I can go and do whatever it is I want to do in life, because being in those past connections like that really do make you feel helpless. It makes you feel stuck. It makes you feel small. And it's very difficult to go from that to kind of switching that mind frame and being like, okay, I'm powerful and I can have anything I want in life. It's difficult, like I said, to make that switch, but some of you are needing to. Some of you are needing to reprogram your mind to understand that you now can move forward into this life of happiness and bliss and abundance. You now do have control over your life because these past people or this past person is no longer controlling your mind and convincing you that you're worthless. It's like now that you have broken free from those shackles, now you can have any life that you want. You can create the life for yourself that you want, and you'll no longer be passive about it. I feel like in this past cycle, you weren't the author of your own book. It was like you were always a supporting character in someone else's story, but you never wrote your own. And like now it's like you have the opportunity to write your own now. Like you're not just a supporting character or a person that's kind of in the background that someone's using and abusing. It's like now you get to be the main character in your story and you get to create your life. So that's a very, very beautiful energy. It's going to be difficult. It's not going to be easy after going through what you've been through. It's going to take a lot of work, a lot of retraining your mind, a lot of building up your confidence. Let's do the Sun card. The Rebel. Okay, so with the Sun card being here and the Rebel card clarifying it, it's looking like a lot of you are going completely against the grain. It's like you're breaking free from these shackles, and that's why you feel so uncertain or you feel so down, if that makes sense. Because I mean, when you think about a rebel, the first thing that you think of is strength and courage, like they're breaking free from some sort of chains or shackles that have been placed on them. But a lot of people don't see that sometimes the energy behind the rebel is the Sun card in reverse. It's not always easy to be a rebel. It's not always easy to be the person that's breaking generational curses. It's not always easy to be, the first one in your family to be successful. It's like when you are the first one to do something and you are like the black sheep and the one that's like really blazing a new path, it's going to be scary. Sometimes it's going to be draining. Sometimes it's going to be lonely. And I feel like that's what you're feeling. Like I said, I think people only see like the exciting part about being a rebel, but they don't take note of this part, this part where you're unsure of yourself. where you're drained, where you're missing people from your past, where you're not sure like if you're making the right decisions. So let me pull one more for that. Playfulness. See, this is what I'm saying. The playfulness in reverse, the sun card in reverse, it's not a fun energy. Breaking generational curses, being the first, it's not a fun energy, because it's like, it's a sense of loneliness, like I said, especially if you're someone who is breaking a generational curse where it's like your entire family is one way and then you're blazing a trail the other way. Your entire family is narcissistic and you're taking the other route and breaking free and starting a healthy family. It's very, like I said, it can be very taxing. It can be very, it's hard, but it's worth it, is what I'm hearing. It's worth it. It's worth pushing through that storm in order to get to where you need to be. And you will thank yourself for it later. So the Three of Cups, let me see what this is about. Politics. See? Oh. Postponement. Okay. Three of Cups and politics in the reverse. So it's funny, the Seven of Swords is in the reverse in your past energy, and then it's basically the same card in your present energy. So politics in reverse, getting away from people who are snakes, who are phony, who are two-faced, and having the courage to open back up to people in order for you to build meaningful connections. Still putting those boundaries up so you don't let just anybody in, but having the faith to do so. Like having the faith or trusting in yourself, I guess I could say, trusting yourself enough to know that now you've learned so much from dealing with certain people in the past that you're smart enough to tell the difference between someone who is a snake and someone who's genuine. So you can trust yourself enough to open up just a little bit. You know, you don't have to be so extremely closed off or guarded. I feel like that's what a lot of the people in your past wanted you to do anyway. Like they wanted you to be closed off, guarded, not want to let anybody in. So then you would have to kind of cling to them or hold on to them because they instilled this fear and this shame within you that made you kind of shy away from other people. It's a really sick type of energy. You know how like abusive people, they want to keep you away from your friends, they want to keep you away from your family, they want to keep you away from just anything good in your life because they want you to still be under their rule. But you're coming out of that. And you're going to make a lot of beautiful connections with people and new memories that are going to help to kind of not exactly erase your past, but it'll definitely help to take your mind off of some of the negativity from your past or the trauma from your past. We're going to look at outside energy. So this could be like the family members involved in this, or the romantic partner involved in this, or the friends involved in this, because whenever we go through a transformation like this, it's always someone that has sparked it in some way, shape, or form. So we're going to look at the people who sparked this, or the person who sparked this. Some of you are going to have a lot to celebrate soon. I'm hearing that very clearly. Soon you're going to have a lot to celebrate. Okay. Wasn't expecting that card to come out. Oh, okay. Wait, what? Let me clarify that. I think I know what this is trying to say, but I'm just like, wait a minute, what? Who are the people involved in this? Okay. Wow. Okay. So the outside energy, Two of Cups and the Star card. That's why you saw the intense confused look on my face. But actually it makes sense now that I think about it. The Two of Cups talks about soulmate. It's soulmate energy. But like I tell people all the time, a soulmate is not necessarily someone who comes into your life and is meant to be there forever and sweeps you off your feet. It's not necessarily that. A lot of the time soulmates are people who you call into your life in order to teach you some sort of lesson that helps you to ascend. Star card, the Ascension card, helps you to grow, helps you to learn some sort of important lesson, and it's a part of your life path in this lifetime to meet this person. Definitely could be past life energy with this person or with these people, but either way you come out on top. Like they help you to ascend because of the way that they went about things or because of the way they treated you. It's like they force you to grow and heal on a spiritual level. The possibilities in the reverse. I feel like this person or these people, they are very limited individuals and they're trying to limit you for that reason. That's very clear to me. They are limited in their thinking, in their mind. They can only get but so far. They can only do but so much. And it's like they kind of see in you how much you're capable of and they don't want you to see it, or they just don't want, they just don't want you to see it. They don't want you to see the opportunities that you have. Like some of you could be extremely talented, or some of you just have, it's like you have something that people see, but they don't want you to see it. This person, I mean, or these people, they don't want you to see it. They don't want you to be independent. They want to keep you, I'm just feeling like this suppression, like they just want to keep you down, out, and contained. Like they want to keep you in this energy where you feel like you need them for emotional support or financial support. It's like I said, this person's very limited, or these people are very limited, and so they want to keep you down. Your success would be like an insult to them. That's horrible, but that's what I'm hearing. Your success would be like, it almost would be a slap in the face to them for you to like succeed in life and be happy. That is sick. Okay, we're going to get into that, the more of this in the extended video for sure. So I will leave the link to that in the description box down below. So again, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you over on Vimeo. Bye.